Element 10 is called processing of new information. The desired effect of element 10 is that students can explain what they have just learned, ask clarifying questions, and/or actively discuss the content.
My name is Erin Fichtenmeyer. I'm an intensive reading teacher at Cruz Lake K-8. I teach mainly 7th graders, but I have a particular class where I have a double period throughout the day. And it's we specifically talked about the difference between a positive feeling word and a negative feeling word. And we also got into the denotation, which is the technical or dictionary meaning of it. And we did a little bit of an activity in class on the board where we talked about the difference between the way a word makes you and how they made you feel, as well as the technical definition. And then the students broke up into small groups of 2 or 3. And I gave them little strips of paper in which they had to actually sort the denotative meaning, which is the definition, as well as find the matches to it. And so they had to find the positive connotation and the negative connotation. And they had about maybe 12 strips, so they had about 4 clusters of words to work with. And they did a phenomenal job. I was so impressed at how they worked together. They talked it out. If they had something set up and they thought they were all done, and I was monitoring each group as I went around the room, and they asked me if they were finished, and I would say, no, you have something that's wrong. But I wouldn't tell them what it was. So they had to actually work together again to talk about whether or not they were right in all areas. It really did help them to kind of have that debate amongst themselves as to whether or not, if one person thought this was positive and the other one thought it was the denotation, they had to really prove it to one another. And I really saw a lot of their skills come out. Not just reading skills, but social skills, working well together, being a team member, listening to someone else's point of view. And so it was a phenomenal experience, and I think the kids got a lot out of it.
We would split it up. What we would do first is, we would split it up. We would each look at what everybody has. So we would spread them out first. We would take one denotation. So like this one, we would ask each other which one who has what that would go together with the positive or the negative for the denotation of influence one way or another. So we would look at each one, and none of us if I don't have it, then I would ask her. She doesn't have it, then we would ask him, and then we would just go back and forth to see who has who.
So influence one way or another.
So I got brainwashed, stare, and not on time. What do you have?
Party looks steadily. They smell sense by the olfactory nerve and fragrance.
Fake
fragrance. I got gaze, is that right?
Persuade.
Persuade, thank you.
Well, yeah, your son's most likely Drew. We'll go with that one for now. And then what's the new one we can do? We can start with the new denotation. It smells sense by the... One is we can all work together better, and it helps us learn like the difference between like how each one of us works, and we can see what works better and what does not.
And if you don't know a word, like if the other person knows the word, you can ask them, and you will learn so much more than what you can do by yourself.